A service to mark the first anniversary of the rededication of Rorke's drift survivor Pte John Smith was held at Ashby Cemetery on Saturday. It was organised by the Ashby branch of the Royal British Legion in remembrance of Private Smith, who fought at the battle in January 1879, part of the Anglo-Zulu War. The service was a sombre occasion as Private Smith, who lived and worked around Ashby, was remembered.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
Ashby British Legion Chairman Dan Harrison spoke of the significance of the event.
It was a very important occasion to be able to follow up and to be able to create more significance by the people attending, the VIPs, and obviously the number of people, senior people in public life have turned up, Lord Lieutenant Deputy, retired Major General, the Chairman of the County Council, the Mayor of Ashby, and many more important members of the public.
Former Major General Mitch Mitchell MBE was one of several VIPs attending the ceremony.
They do not fight for the king, they fight for their mates. They will not let their mates down. And so when they're with their mates, they feel safe, they feel supported. The systems in place in the army today, where you have trauma incident management within 24 hours of an incident, you have mental health support, you have decompression before you come home after an operation, you have welfare officers to look after the families, is so much better than it was in John Smith's day. And my own feeling is that when you're with your mates and your teams in service, you're a very resilient individual in a resilient team.
Private Smith sadly committed suicide after suffering from what is now suspected to be post-traumatic stress disorder, a condition the Ashby branch wants to raise the profile of. Dan Harrison says there are plans for a fact display based on the Rorke's Drift battle at Ashby Museum.
Wonderful to have the blessing and to restore a proper tombstone, but now it's the catalyst to be able to do other things. So the museum is just another step on that programme.
Private Smith was wounded by a spear during the conflict, but lived, only to take his own life on returning to England. Ashby British Legion now wants to use the case of John Smith to highlight the struggles faced by ex-service people to this day.
So I think it was important to rerun that. We will obviously probably look at a 5-yearly event and not an annual event, but we've actually put the marker down, and as a result of understanding this more, we then discover that post-traumatic stress is even an important part of what we do today in our lives, and particularly of the military. We hear of awful stories of people on the streets and suffering illness, and I think ultimately that's what it's all about. So through this, we've evolved and developed a cause.
An Ashby-based business, LH Financial Planning, with offices at the Old Cottage Hospital, sponsored the event along with the proposed Ashby Museum display. Visitors to Private Smith's grave can access a QR code at the rear of the headstone, which gives them more information. Graham Hill, Num News.